Hello, this is the Leagustarter guide for my Blight of Contagion Trickster. This is an insanely fun build with unique mechanics that make it excel as one of the best League starters for certain mechanics such as Big Boom Expedition, Blight, and Breach. While not having fantastic scaling at super high budgets, it makes up for this in a big way by having an incredibly strong start and circumventing every map mod in the game, as well as several annoying mechanics such as temporal shields. In this video, I'll go over all the build mechanics, as well as the gear, gems, jewels, and passive tree, including a full written leveling and endgame guide, which I will link below. Starting off, I'll do a brief overview of the mechanics of the build. Our main skill is Blight of Contagion, which is a channeling chaos damage over time spell. This spell is spread via Contagion. So when you're mapping, all you do, you Contagion, and you really only have to tap Blight of Contagion, because when it spreads via the Contagion, all of the stacks will stack up, each time it spreads up to the maximum of 6, which will happen basically instantly and clear. When you're bossing, you'll put down your Wither totems, you'll curse with Bane, and then you just channel Blight of Contagion, and that is it. As for our gem links, we have Blight of Contagion, Infused Channeling, Void Manipulation, Controlled Destruction, Efficacy, Swift Affliction. You can swap in Efficacy for a higher damage gem in the form of Arcane Surge, and then have Arcane Surge linked with your Contagion. You level up the one in your Blight of Contagion, and you don't level up the one in your Contagion, and so you'll have to Contagion, it'll proc your Arcane Surge, and then you will have the full buff for your Blight of Contagion. Multiple totems, Spell Totem, Faster Casting, Wither. We have our Bane setup with Bane, Punishment, Despair, and Hexbloom. Arcane Surge linked to Flame Blast. You can do that over the Contagion setup, that's up to you. We have Grace, Malevolence, Clarity. Later on, you'll have an Enlighten in here. You can also optionally have a Withering Step in your setup. You can actually activate this while channeling Blight of Contagion if you want to activate your Wither on, say, rares and early maps or something like that. So this is a day one character I threw together to showcase the build. We have a Cane of Unraveling. This is the thing that's going to take you to T16s. It's 1 to 2C. We have a 2 stat helmet. A +1 amulet with dot multi. This thing is actually pretty decent. You can actually pick these up pretty cheap early on if you pick one up. If not, then just get a +1 or the dot multi. We have a Deafening Essence of Envy or Shrieking Essence of Envy thrown at a ring a couple times until you see just something decent. This is just life. Really bad chest piece. Same thing for the other ring. The implicits here don't matter, by the way. That's just completely random. The endurance charges don't even stay up. We have a 1 stat glove. Ignore the fracture there, I guess. Max life and 1 res. And a little bit of res, life, movement speed boots. So starting off here, I just want to go over the PoB. Starting out with the configurations to explain here. Cap your resistances. Obviously, just cap your res. Punishment is corrected in the configurations to have 50% less curse effect, because I have set everything to always be on low life. So they're not always going to be on low life. They're only going to be on life half of the time. So punishment has 50% less curse effect to cover for that. Other than that, we have act loadouts all the way from the beginning of the game to the very end game stages of the build. All you do is you click up here, go act 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see the tree build out, and you can follow that way. As for our early mapping setup, this is just day 1 gear. We're talking like 1C unique weapon. This thing is going to carry you all the way to T16s, and you're going to keep using it. We have just random gear, life, some res. Try to find 1 roll of spell suppression if possible on this gear. This Eldritch mod here, that's 7% of damage taken from hits as fire damage, is only here to show you that this is kind of like one of the first things that you want to go for. Same thing with all the other gear though. You're just gonna see life, evasion, energy shield, hopefully, and just like a crafted res on all of your gear basically. And as you're moving into mid-game, early to mid-game, then you start wanting to get some stuff like a better chest piece. You want to aim to get just a good evasion energy shield chest piece as soon as possible. Other than that though, everything else pretty much stays the same. The tree has built out a little more. From mid to end game, it's very important for a trickster for you to get your clusters as soon as possible, because there's not a whole lot of increased damage just on this side of the tree for you to grab. So it's pretty important that you go ahead and grab your clusters as soon as possible. That's going to be a massive damage boost. As for the skills and the gear and stuff, you're basically moving off of the Cane of Unraveling. If you want to try to improve your damage a bit more, you can go to a wand and shield setup. You're going to look for just a +1 chaos shield and a +1 chaos wand with dot multi, spell damage, chaos dot multi, some combination of those stats. You don't have to go through this step. I personally just stay on a Cane of Unraveling myself, but this will get you a little bit of extra damage. You do this and up until that you can move into a 2-mod Cane of Coolmok. And what you're looking for on your Cane of Coolmok is going to be increased chaos damage or spell damage, those stats are equivalent, and then chaos damage over time multiplier suffix. That is your 2-mod cane. There is no other combination of stats that you want besides those exact 2 mods. Otherwise, it is not worth to pick up a Cane of Coolmok. Okay, this one later on is going to be the 3-mod cane. Again, chaos damage or spell damage, those stats are equivalent. Then chaos dot multi suffix, and a +3 to the level of socketed support gems. This is in the end game setup, and you want to get that stat so that your Empower gets a ton of levels, and it just gives you a bunch of gem levels. Also want to talk about a replica Dragonfang's Flight. Yes, a +3 Blight replica Dragonfang's Flight is very good. However, early on, people are usually picking these things up and sniping them. They kind of are expensive early on, I've noticed. So this thing is not worth like a ton of divines or anything. If you pay like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 at the max, maybe 5 if you're feeling a little crazy, you can go for it. But you can just supplement with a +1 and dot multi amulet, you know, something like this, with just any other random stats, energy shield, life, res, all of that. So again, this is the end game, or this is the kind of starting to get towards the end game setup. Start filling out all of your eldritch modifiers and whatnot, get a good chest. You're going to keep stacking more suppression and stuff, so you can remove suppression nodes from your tree and whatnot. And you also want to pick up a chaos damage Light of Meaning. These things are usually very cheap. You slap it in right here, it gives you a ton of increased damage. It's very nice, especially early on. And as you move into like the turbo min-maxing setup here, you know, you're going to have your 3-mod cane, you're going to get a really big helmet, really big chest piece. This thing actually isn't even all that crazy, but you know, a pair of gloves that with a bunch of evasion energy shield. You're going to pick up your Watcher's Eye with chance to evade, so you are evade capped. You are going to pick up a cogwork ring. These things are actually super cheap. The crafting process for cogwork rings has actually become a lot cheaper because so many people have just started ignoring them and only caring about helicals. You know, helical ring goes for like 50 div, cogworks will go for 1. So what you do to make this ring is you want to roll with either damage over time multiplier essences or deafening essence of envies. I would roll with the damage over time essences and damage over time multiplier. You're going to fracture that modifier, and then you're going to roll with the other essence, okay, until you see something good, a combination of energy shield and res, and then you're going to Calandra's Touch that. You're going to make yourself a crystal belt. You know, you roll these with stuff like dense fossils, you know, a shaper or crusader. I think crusader is actually better. Crusader crystal belt, and you just roll with dense fossils until you see energy shield mods. You can also roll with essences. That's a bit harder though. You could also roll on a harvest bench. I would personally recommend the fossils. You can do this. This is your focused amulet craft. You know, it's basically disgusting to craft something like this. This is a stupid amulet, and I would not ever recommend going for this. You can just stick with a replica of Dragonfang's Flight. I personally wouldn't even come here and do this. This is just here to show you you can do this. This is something to aim for as like a super end game goal. Okay. Other than that, you know, your clusters all stay the same. Not too much changes. You're just picking up expensive pieces by this point, and then you start maxing out the build. So that's going to be it from me. If you like this video, please leave it a like, and if you want to see more updates to this build or other builds I do in the future, subscribe now. I'm just going to leave some raw footage at the end here showcasing a full map on this day 1 character, so you get an idea if this is something that you want to play or not. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games.
Subscribe now and like the video.